Alright, and hello again everyone, and welcome back to PTM Racing TV as we are live here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And this is going to be a battle for the ages on a 50% three-time wear racetrack here tonight for these Rev Limit Racing boys. We're going to go show you guys real quick a little sneak preview what these guys are driving on here tonight. We're going to run down a lap or two on this track. So one thing I'm going to tell you guys right now that this track is all about, it's all about patience and perseverance. It's this track known as Hotlanta. This is a track that's well known for how hard it is to keep your tires stable and keep your car stabilized well, because of the bumps and the rhythm that it takes a toll on your car for, but also trying to keep your line stable and keep your line in spot. It's very easy to mess up and forget which line you want to keep and what you want to do. And the biggest thing about running this track is all about getting to the right spot, and one way that they're going to do it here tonight is try to apex off this bottom lane here and try to get it to run all the way through. But as you've seen there, what I just did, I touched the apron a little bit and set my car straight up, which tells you a lot about this track, and it tells you a lot about what they're dealing with tonight. This is not an easy track to master. This is very much like a plate track. The biggest difference though is that it's all about control and rhythm, and this track is definitely hard to master all that. So as we get everybody ready to come on in here tonight, thanks again to everyone for tuning on in. We appreciate you guys supporting us up. We'll be here with you in just a moment. We're going to exit out, and we're going to wait for our crew to give us the good to go to join our little stream here tonight for Rev Limit. But again, if you could, share us on around, like us up here on YouTube, and follow us up at Facebook and Twitter at PTM Racing TV, or at League PTM for Twitter. And we'll get you guys all situated out and ready to go here for some racing here in just a little bit. Alright guys, so we're just waiting on everybody here tonight. So they will be driving 162 laps this race here. I'll go over the stages and everything here in just a little bit, but just one thing kind of refresh your brains about is the fact that we are at Hotlanta. So this track, obviously the track can be a lot hotter than most of the tracks we see on the circuit here for Rev Limit Racing. The biggest thing you're going to notice though is that they are very tight and very hard cornered when it comes to their tracks. So they have to be careful about where they place the car at and where they set it, everything. So it's going to be all about control and maintaining stability, and definitely going to really be about tempo when they code in those corners. You can full throttle it, but with these cup cars it's really not very well recommended. We've gotten the little invite real quick here, so we're just waiting for confirmation to get everybody else in here. Shouldn't take too much longer here. Should be ready to go here in just a little bit. Like I said, just currently waiting for everyone else to join on in and give us a chance here to get y'all situated out here. Again, to everyone watching at home, thanks so much. And we do appreciate you guys tuning on each and every time out. This 162 lap ordeal definitely is going to be a long run setup, in my opinion. There is no such thing as a short run. The biggest thing here is all about just consistency and control And really, it's all about just kind of keeping those tires at bay and trying to keep yourself at bay, because it's so easy to want to overdrive or overdo the corners or turns, and it definitely will hurt you for the longer send. And we'll see if that all comes down to it, because right now, in my opinion, the way it's been looking, it seems like there's only been 3 or 4 guys, that being N. Morgan, Pat Howard, CJ Creaky, and Hay Bale, that have been the guys that everybody's been hunting down and trying to take down when they come out on these tracks. But the fact that now they're running on a very long run setup style, will that play to their strengths, or will we see a newcomer come in here tonight and actually dominate? It's hard to tell, but you never can be too sure, so we'll see how that all plays out here tonight. As we get the cars ready to go here, get everybody all situated out. We're going to remind you again that this is one of the last races for the Rev Limit Racing boys. They're currently working up to the last bit of their playoffs race here. Some drivers have already been knocked out, and some are still in it to win it. Let's go and find out who will stay in it to win it as we bring them on down. It is time to go green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And here we go. We're getting it all ready to go. We're getting everyone all in. We're ready to go here. We're bringing them on down. Let's get it all done. Let's go racing here down in the NASCAR Heat 5 Series. As for the Cup Series, Rev Limit Racing brings you the Georgia 250. Alright, we're working on down here. We're finally down in the crowd. We're getting into the stands. Now we're getting into the booth here. I'll hop in here. My producers are saying it's time to finally let these guys rock them up and ready to go. Matt Parkhurst will be your starter on this one as they bring him on down. The green flag flies. Here we go. On down around that front straightaway they go here. They battle it out immediately here, trying to get something going down on the front, on turn 1, down into turn 2 here. As they work them on around down out of turn 2. Now they go right down to the back stretch they go. The 77 trying to defend off that 20 there of Hay Bale. Hay Bale immediately on the gun, trying to get into this one, trying to get something figured out here. As they work him on around, they continue to battle quite hard as they bring him on down the front straightaway. We got trouble already, though. The 87 has spun on around. That's Kevin Baker there, unfortunately, getting into troublesome territory, and has spun right around Doc Holliday and that as well. But he's currently working him back up as Matt Parker still has a sizable race lead over one another. Work him on down the back straightaway we go here. Now down turn 3, going down into turn 4 here. Say work them on in. Hay Bale trying to get something figured out here. CJ Creaky in that 51 Hot Rod Rowdy machine trying to get something here as well. That Toyota Camry machine is doing everything he can, trying to get it figured out, trying to get some runs here. These guys all in it to win it, and they're battling early, but they're battling a little hard here, in my opinion, for the fact that they're running a full-length race. They've got to start calming that down a bit as you get an onboard camera here, Creaky. CJ Creaky kind of working that back stretch down on in. Hay Bale giving it everything he can to stay with Matt Parkhurst as they work them on in. Down out of turn 4 they go. All drivers seeming to battle in there, but Parkhurst goes right up into the wall a little too hard there, in my opinion. That might have just cost him good time here. Hay Bale now works him on down the inside line, makes him pay for it. He goes on down out of turn 1, down turn 2. Here they go. Work them on in and work them on around. They're giving quite a battle here, and Hay Bale has got the race lead now. How many times we've said that on here? They work them on down around now. They will give it everything they can down out of turn 3, going down into turn 4 here. As we continue them on around, CJ Creaky giving it for what it's worth, trying to get some momentum built up. Parkhurst is just trying to get back in the hunt here, as now it is that 14 machine as well, doing a little bit battle there. It is, looks like the number 1 of Enough Said gets a little tag there from the 42 of Miller Time 20. Miller Time getting a little bit aggressive there, trying to stick with it and trying to get back into the hunt here, as RY85 now goes on in here as well. He challenges up the leaders, and Morgan in that 17's got company. Whoa, company there though, and he got a nice little nudge and a half there from the 17 of N. Morgan. Both drivers getting a little bit into each other, and that definitely took quite a hit, to say the least, there as they work them on down around out of turn 2. And they work them on in. 3 wide they go. The salute is initiated. Look at this. In Morgan now with the 3 wide salute with Parkhurst and Haybale. And Morgan backs off. He doesn't want none of that. He backs in there and gets it all situated out here as they work them on down around turn 4 they go. Oh man, these guys giving it quite the run and quite the show. And everyone trying to get something figured out and trying to get it down early. Whoa! RY giving a little bit of a bump there as they initiate another 3 wide slow down out of turn 1. They're giving it for what it's worth, and they're hitting those cars as hard as they can, just trying to figure out how they want to run it here as we work them on in. CJ Creaky, though, the more they keep battling, the more they're just going to give him a run. CJ Creaky right now has a serious size lead over these drivers and over this internally right now. These guys are just trying desperately to get back up into this one, but there's not a lot of time in stage 1 to get that back. And every point matters at this point concerning the playoffs picture. But nonetheless, Wah RD right now doing everything he can to hang in there with Parkhurst. Parkhurst, after starting in the lead, he had so much trouble. It's not even funny. He unfortunately got right into the wall out at turn 4 and had opened the door for Haybale to take over his spot. And that definitely has been the case here. As they work on down that front straightaway here, now you see him go right down out of turn 1 here, back down around out of turn 2 they go. Got a nice little crowd on hand. Thanks guys so much for tuning on in. But right now you can see the battle between these drivers and everyone around, just trying to get something figured out. They're trying to get that run there that they all look for in a race, and that right now is not quite coming to anybody. They're just kind of getting their draft figured out as well. As we're back on with RY85 here. RY in that 19 machine trying to defend in there with the 20 of Haybale and that 17 of N Morgan. N Morgan giving it everything he can to hang with it and stay in the fight here. But right now you can definitely tell that Haybale is just trying to stick with N Morgan more than he is Creaky for a multitude of reasons. As right down, back down the throttle here. We got a 3 wide salute almost initiated here as they come on down the back straightaway. There it is right there. Enough said. Now works them on in with Miller time. 420 in that 42 machine. They work them on down now around. They will bring him side by side here. Enough said gets the better run off of that. And these guys absolutely giving it everything it's worth, trying to build up the momentum and trying to get something figured in. No guy or driver letting this one go too easily. They're giving it for all it's worth. Neither one seem to be able to figure out, though, what they want to do in this case as they work them on around down. Now back straightaway we go. As they come on down out of turn 3, now back down turn 4. Enough said, giving it all he can. He's trying to get that 4 slot. Parkhurst into the wall. So is Miller time in the 14. Pat Howard has spun on around. Serious trouble there for him. Holy smokes. Right down in the wall and in the infield. He opened up his own lawn care service, and unfortunately he's not going to make any money off of that one because the owner said he did a terrible job on that, so he'll have to figure out a way to get back into this hunt as they continue to work him on around down out of turn 3 going down turn 4 here. Everybody giving it for what it's worth, trying to get something figured out, but CJ Creaky is just getting further and further ahead of these drivers. You're going to go on board here. Then Morgan, I'm going to show you how tough CJ Creaky is to get up to him. He's got to try to get that draft while meanwhile also trying to conserve his tires. It is crazy to think that these guys are having to deal with as much as they are on this track, but the laps encounter they will have to deal with is incredible. And then what am I talking about there? Well, they're going to be doing, as I said, a 50% 3-time wear race. Their fuel run's only going to be about 19 laps, and they have to do 51 laps of stage 1 alone. Stage 2 they got to do 52, and then that final stage they got 56. 162 flat full race. That's nuts to say the least, but that's what they are working with here tonight as they continue on around now. And Morgan's still trying to figure out how he's going to get up there Creaky, but it seems like maybe he's getting a bit of a draft going. As they work them on around out of turn 4 they go. This is definitely something so far. And caution has come on out. Looks like we had one driver spun on around. I think that was from that might have been from Wolf 292-012. Unfortunately, looks like trouble brewing for him, and that will slow them down to a T. And we will get them re-racked, restacked, and all that, and get another one out. Still a lot of laps left in this one. We'll tell you how many exactly here in just a minute. But it looks as though everybody is going to stop on to pit road and get themselves a fresh set of tires and a fresh set of Goodyears and some fuel. As they bring them on down around out of turn 4 here, we will be ready for some more green flag racing here. And here we go. We're off and running yet again. CJ Creaky leads off with a hay bale right to his outside. They work them on down out of turn 1 now. CJ Creaky starting to get some momentum built up, starting to get some time figured out with 34 laps remaining in this one here. He's getting it all in and taken care of here. On back down around now. They'll continue on through, giving it all that's worth, all it's trying to give it, trying to build it up, trying to see if maybe it'll stick. Creaky gets it there. Oh, and contact made there off, but contact made from Ed Morgan and Creaky, and unfortunately hay bale goes for a ride. And so does the rest of them. Unfortunately, they went for a huge ride there. And Morgan will take the lead. I'm not sure. Maybe he got right into the back of Creaky, and Creaky had nowhere to go. It's hard to say because on Atlanta you can do that where you get a little too hard on the throttle and you'll get a nice tag in there. And that won him enough said now, looking for his very first stage win and overall winner circle ever since we started doing these broadcasts. He's yet to get into victory lane, and right now he's got a pretty good chance to actually stick with these guys and get something figured out. But remember, even though they went in pit side, they're still going to have to get another set of fuel at least, if not a bit of tires. Whoa! Up in the backside goes the 8 there. Unfortunately, that 8 of RD getting a huge lick into 2. Moves them on back down now as they work them on around out of 3 going into 4. Now you got yourself a battle for the race lead here as we work them on in here. You got something going here between the leaders. Enough said, trying to challenge up for Ed Morgan in that 17, trying to make a move around while Miller time 20, getting some momentum built up as well. But he's got Kevin Baker in that 87, not too far out of this one. Kevin Baker right now getting a serious run on that outside line to the draft. Looks like he's trying to catch as much of it as he can, and that's going to help him to get around Miller as they work them on around down out of turn 4, going down the front straightaway here of this tri-oval track. They will bring him on down now, bring him in. You can see them slide up a little bit. That's because the way the cars maneuver in, they're set up on this track. This track does have a few ridges and bumps that actually, if you're not careful, set you up for a loop or two. So it's all about maintaining stability and control so you don't lose the car or momentum. Definitely shows there as they work well down around now. Ed Morgan getting some serious momentum built up around turn 4 here. And Morgan, the driver of that 17 Ford Mustang, taking on enough said in the #1 Monster Energy Chevrolet Beast. Manned and drove by many folks out there, many great men and women around in our esports society. It's definitely been quite a run for him, though. He's been in either highs or lows, but there's one thing's for sure, he's always given it his hard and done what he could to try to get himself a race victory. But as they work him on around out of turn 4 here, they're definitely giving it for all it's worth here and trying to get some momentum built up. Come on down around now, down out of turn 1, back down turn 2 here. The 87 of Kevin Baker now starting to lighten up a bit. Might be trying to save the tires a little bit more. As enough said, says, I've not had enough of this yet. I'm going for that lead. He works on down around out of turn 3 now, going down into turn 4. He's got a seam. He's got an opening. He takes it over as Kevin Baker as well gets a tag or 2 from Miller time at that 42 machine. Miller giving him a nice little bump there as well. The rubbing his racing key coming into play for that Toyota Camry and that Chevrolet of the 42. And man, these guys absolutely tearing up some equipment, I would think. With only 27 laps left in this one, it's hard to say who's going to really take over this race and who's going to get it. But definitely right now, there is some serious contact points made between each other and between all the others. That is some serious heavy bump in there. Right now you got Matt Parkhurst as well trying to do battle there with the 8 there of Wall RD and the Beast, Tame the Beast, number 8. As they work them on down, 2 big bad Chevrolets going out of here trying to see which one will outdo the other. On down around now out of turn 1 down into turn 2 they go, and Matt Parkhurst is just giving it everything it's worth, trying to get that outside line away, trying to steal the position away, trying to move in and take it. But that 8 of Wall RD right now is just not giving him an inch. As they continue on down around the front stretch to the tri-oval section, they get down now. Straight to the wall, back to the top, and straight to the bottom. That's where they'll take it. And working them on around. Now you got that 19 of RY 85 now trying to get something figured out as well. He's just maybe trying to see if maybe he can stand back and get the momentum built up for a little late run here. It's hard to say, but he might have a chance if he gets it all figured out here as they work him on down around at turn 4 here. These guys absolutely turning it up. They've been trying to tear up this track, get something figured out. Meanwhile, now back up front. Look at this now. That 17 of Ed Morgan takes that lead back away, but now he's got company. As that one of Enough Said, and the Chevrolet has also got 87, and Kevin Baker slowly but surely he reels him in and tries like a big fish looking for the big game. He's looking to get this one stealing away. He's just reeling them in closer and closer now for the big move to the inside now. Here comes Kevin Baker in that number 87 machine as they work him on down around. Enough Said in the number 1 trying to hold his own here, trying to get something figured out here, trying to get it all situated out, down out of turn 2 they go. And that 87 there of Baker has finally got a momentum run going for him as they work him on down. This is great stuff from the drivers here and the good stuff from the cars themselves. The stars in the cars giving everything they can. Problem is, the more Enough Said and Baker fight it out, the more it's just going to spell trouble for them because they're going to let in Morgan get ahead. The fact that he's free-flowing right now, just running his own race, means he can get the momentum built up and not have to worry about tire breakdown. The more defensive you do on a car, the more offensive the one in front or behind you can get ahead. That's what makes it so hard to figure out the strategy on how you want to play a race. Do you want to try and defend in battle, or do you want to try and actually race your race and just stay out of the way, and then if you have to, make the move when you need to? That's what it's all about in racing, and that's what you're seeing right now between these two hard drivers as the Monster Energy Chevrolet number 1 of Enough Said trying to hold off Kevin Baker in that 87 machine. But now down low out of turn 2 they go, and Kevin Baker seems like he's finally starting to get some momentum built up and start to get it really figured out there as they work him on down around now at turn 3 going down turn 4 here. Looks like Enough Said's got trouble. Baker has got a moment and he's got some momentum built up, and that will allow that 87 of Kevin Baker to take over the position. Holy smokes, it definitely was a good one here, and definitely a good battle here. This has been some great stuff between these drivers. Holy cow almighty. As we work them on down around now, Miller time 20 and that 42 trying to get something figured out here. He's got that 14 as well doing battle there as they work them on down around. 14 of, I believe that is Pat Howard right now. Works them on in, trying to get something going, trying to get them done and do. But unfortunately right now, he's falling further and further behind after that little skirmish, little wreck he had. And now Haybale is going to get past him as well here. So I think Haybale is in pit road for a while. He's now got a fresh set of tires and gas as he works them on in, though. Looks like he's almost going to take the 3 wide salute into the play here. These guys battling out back and forth harder and harder here. It is not giving anybody anything. On down around the front straightaway here, down side by side they go. Haybale now trying to stay out of trouble, trying to work them on in, and you can see the momentum built up there for the 3 wide salute down out of turn 2. Oh, RY85 managed to sneak away from that one and get himself something figured out here and get himself a run and a half going. But man, these guys got something they've got to figure out, and that's what it's all about right now. As they work them on in, they are giving it all they can. It is Enough Said in the 17. They're all going to pit side. Whoa! You got some guys getting a little bit crazy there, getting in trouble. And that definitely shows, but because right now, they're definitely falling further and further away as Doc Holliday now back on the track. But serious front end damage up on that machine there. Kevin Baker still out as well. I think he's just getting out of pit road actually now. Looks like he didn't take any tires. Looks like he just took fuel. That's kind of interesting to think because Haybale has taken a full set and tires. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens here. As they work them on down around, looks like Haybale's going to start getting away with some positions here and start moving them on in. As they continue on here, we'll see how it plays out. And Morgan's back out on the track. And it looks to me as though that he's not going to take the race lead away. Then Morgan still has the race lead here. On down around they come down out of turn 3, going down turn 4, and then Morgan still got to deal with enough set in the number 1 machine. Coming on down around now, they'll bring him out turn 4 here, and then Morgan is giving it everything he can to down to the front straightaway they go, and this is some serious battling going on between these drivers. Enough said, just doing for what he can, for what it's worth. But you can see as there's only 16 laps left in this one, there's not a lot of time left for these drivers to be making mistakes and making errors. And that's why Morgan is trying to hold off Enough Said, but Enough Said just will not give up any room here. They continue him on in. They will bring him on down around out of turn 4 here. And holy smokes, this is definitely getting interesting here because Enough Said has just overtaken that 17 of Ed Morgan off of that beautiful pass there on the front stretch and out of turn 4 as well. Ed Morgan now is going to have to try and see if he can hold off and get back into this. Enough Said now is in his sights. Bring him on down. Oh, Enough Said a little loose there. Looks like maybe a little love tap didn't quite go the way they were looking for. Come on down out of turn 3, going down into turn 4 here. And you can see one thing that they're going to really be doing a lot of, very similar to what we talked with Charlotte Motor Speedway in Texas, is when you're going around that tri-oval, you'll see them try to kind of cut those corners and get a straighter line built in instead of trying to work the track by rotating it. And it's not like what you would see with Talladega or Daytona where the track is so long you can't really do that on a tri-oval. So you have to try to actually rotate it in to the track itself. And Ed Morgan right now is doing exactly that. Neither driver giving an inch here, neither one giving neither chance to make a move off one another as they work them on in. They will bring them on down around. Looks like we got ourselves a battle between RY85 and the 87 to Kevin Baker. This is your battle for third, I believe. As they work them on in down around the back straightaway now. RY85 starting to get some momentum built up as they continue them on in. They are giving it for all it's worth here, trying to figure this one out. This is some serious stuff between the drivers here and between everybody else. As they continue them on in, they are just trying to do it for what they're worth. But you can see right now, they are absolutely tearing it up, trying to get a little bit on that inside there, but it looks like RY85 gets a little bit of a bump there from Kevin Baker, and that pushes them further back. And unfortunately, that will open the door up wide to them. For Miller time now, and that's 42 to get the lead over from him. They'll take his position back away. As they work them on down around out at turn 4, they're turn 2, excuse me, they go again. RY85 and that 19 machine makes a big maneuver pass around. And definitely been a good move there for him to get around Miller. But Miller is not one to be denied here. He won't give up that easily. As now Wolf in that 11 machine is also starting to build up some momentum. Maybe trying to get something figured out for a little run here on him. As we work him on down around out at turn 2. Wolf going to the high side there, not quite where he wants to go. A little bit all over the place here and a little bit everywhere which way but straight, and right now he's just trying to get that situated out here. Not a lot of time left and not laps remaining in this one here. Oh, contact made there up on the 8. Oh, right into RD. And Parkhurst getting right into each other. Parkhurst is going down the infield into the wall. Whoa. That did not look pretty, and that was a gnarly little hit and a hard smack to say the least here. Holy smokes. Oh, and RY85 still spinning around down on the turn 1 here with hay bale. These guys going all over the place while Ed Morgan is still trying to get up there with that 17, that 1 I should say, of Enough Said, and not giving any room here, not giving him any chances to pass him. But Ed Morgan says, forget that, I've had enough of you, dude. I'm going down to the outside, or maybe the inside. I'll figure out where you give me an opening at. He's just driving that bump in there, and it is so hard for him to get in there just so quick. And it's everything he can now as the inside was starting to loosen up a little bit. It looks like the 1 of Enough Said didn't quite have the momentum he wanted here as they work him on down around the outside here. Back down the inside now goes Ed Morgan trying to make the maneuver for the lead. Still not out of this one yet as they work him on down out of turn 2 here. They're giving it all it's worth. And Morgan trying to hold his own and get in that position, but Enough Said just keeps blocking him. They work him on down around out of the back stretch there. Whoa, Enough Said got loose yet again, and Morgan still trying to bring him on in, trying to get it for what it's worth. But you can see these guys just cannot get around one another or get that maneuver around to pick that pass here. Stage 1's coming to an end here soon, folks. And it's hard enough just trying to maintain stability in line here. And these guys are definitely showing it here. Only 5 laps remaining in this one. Hay-Bale is back down at pit side here. And he is definitely in trouble here. He's got some serious momentum and problems going, but he is still your front runner in the position for the point series. So I think right now he's pretty much locked up on that end of the spectrum, but he's definitely got to figure out how he's going to work the rest in later as they come on down around out of turn 4 here. All drivers giving it everything it's worth, trying to build it up. Oh boy, and that an RY85 19 machine takes a nice little nick to that wall there. Give it a little kiss in it too as we work back on in Morgan here. And Enough Said, you can see how Enough Said is just trying to hold his own, trying to stick with this here. But nobody is giving an inch and nobody wants to quit just yet. As they work him on down around out of turn 4 they go. Now Enough Said's got company and Morgan's doing everything he can in his power to get around him. And Morgan is doing it for what it's worth and trying to get something figured out here, but it just ain't coming yet. He just can't get it there. In the comments, Dylan James TV saying some good racing. Yep, it's good racing so far indeed. Between these drivers, they work them on around, keeping on with the battle here. No driver giving an inch here, no one giving anything for its worth. Now only about 2 laps remaining in this one here. We'll see how well this plays out for In Morgan. He's going to try to make one last big pass here and try to get something figured out. But you can see they're definitely giving it for what it's worth and just trying to hold on, but it's not enough yet. Enough Said is just doing everything he can to defend and block, and he knows In Morgan's coming for him, but he can't let him get to that middle line or that bottom line. He's just got to stay on it. On down around out of turn 4 they go. On so a little bit down to the apron goes Enough Said. He saves it there and holds it on. And now we work him on in. We have ourselves 1 lap remaining out of stage 1. Enough Said trying to do it one more time around as they bring him on in here. He's giving it all it's worth here, trying to stick with it as In Morgan makes one last big pass to the bottom, but Enough Said defends. Can he hold on? Can he bring it down just low enough to defend the bottom? I think he's going to get it here. He gets it on down. Apexes it beautifully, but In Morgan says enough with that. He's going to try to make the big move. They make it working on down, and Doc Holliday gets in the way, but it'll be In Morgan finishing second to Enough Said in stage 1. Wow. Oh man, y'all want to talk about some battling there. Those two went back and forth with one another. Nobody gave an inch. Nobody gave anything to it. And it was definitely a hard fought road for In Morgan, but Enough Said will finally rejoice in getting himself a victory. Congratulations to him there, and congratulations to getting that points that he'll need for the front runner. He's still in the hunt to stay in the playoffs, but he just needs to get a win here to really boost his chances and boost everything up. Doesn't need to be pulling any Kurt Bushes or Kyle Bushes around here, or any low line down the yellow line. So did I say that? Did I say that out loud? Oh, my bad. Well, folks, we'll bring them on down around. We'll get them situated out yet again and get them ready for some more racing here. We've re-racked, we've restacked and all that. And now it's time for some more green flag racing. We'll see how the start goes, because the 87 of Kevin Baker will be up in that second slot now. Then Morgan right to his inside there as they go green flag racing. On down around now, down out of turn 1. They'll bring him on in here, and Creaky giving it all it's worth here, trying to defend in there, but he's got company there. There's that 9 machine. Whoa! The 9 there of that Oozle boy right now. Trying to stick with it, trying to stay in the hunt here, trying to get out of harm's way and stick with it as the 3 wide salute is initiated down out of turn 4 here with Parkhurst, Baker, and Creaky. They bring him on down. Clean pass, though. Now looks like we're going to open up another 3 wide salute. Whoa! One of them into the wall there. That might... One into the wall. It looks like that was Wolf, unfortunately, getting straight into the wall in the front straightaway there. He lost a lot of momentum and time here as they work him on down around. They're giving it all it's worth. They're trying to stick with it as they come down now, down turn 3, going down into turn 4 here. Everybody giving it everything they can to stay in position and stay in line here, but this is definitely a telling of the tale here between these drivers. They're not out of the hunt yet. They're not out of the woods just yet, and they're giving it for all it's worth. But definitely right now, this is starting to get more and more intense for these drivers as they bring him on down around out of turn 2 here. Right back down the wall, though. Kevin Baker's down the wall. He tags Miller. Miller time gets tagged, and the whole field behind him gets a tag. That slows him up. Caution is coming on out. Well, I'll tell you one thing. That's not what Ed Morgan at 17 wanted to see. Now that Ford Mustang Roush machine wanted to stay ahead of the curve and stay ahead of the issues and trouble there. Unfortunately, though, it's not much you can do about that in this case. And unfortunately, all drivers okay and safe and sound, but definitely that was not what you wanted to see from those guys. See Doc Holliday in that 21 still kind of getting situated out. That Oozle boy, I think he might have started the wreck or the collision. And that everything else just kind of fell through. Hay Bale currently right now the points leader overall out of the playoffs picture, looking to try and get himself another victory if he's gonna do it. I don't know if he'll be here tonight. He seems to be kind of playing the sleeping game and kind of laying off for now, but we'll see how that all plays out later as they bring him down. Green flag racing yet again here, folks. On down the front straightaway, enough said. Immediately trying to get in there with the 87 of Kevin Baker. This will definitely be a telling of the tale here as they work him on down around. 44 laps left in this one of stage 2. We've still got a final stage to come with it. On down the back straightaway they go down now. Turn 3 going down into turn 4 here. And they are giving it everything they can there where it's worth. But enough said gets right up into Kevin Baker. Woohoo! Kevin Baker gets a tag and a half, and that signifies another wreck there between the drivers. They're not calling for a caution here. The flagman saying, hey, even though it's right in front of me, I'm going to let them see if they get it refired. And Wolf has got it fired up again. They will race them on down the back straightaway here. They're going to keep it green here as they work on down turn 3 going into turn 4 here. Here comes that 8 machine. YRD. YRD, that Chevrolet Beast. Tame the Beast, I should say. Trying to get some momentum to stick in it with Miller time in that 42 machine. On down around though, down the front stretch of the tri-oval, down to turn 1, going down into turn 2 here. And they bring him right in there. RD is just hanging with it. But unfortunately right now the Miller time is just not quite sticking in it there either. They are giving it for everything it's worth, just trying to hang in it and trying to battle it out between one another. That 9 there of that Oozle boy is also in the hunt, trying to get some momentum built that up. But whoa, he gets right into the grass there, opens up his own lawn care service. While meanwhile, right behind him now, he's got CJ Creaky, one of the toughest combatants to try to hang off on any driving track as he works them on down around out of turn 2 they go. And you can see that they are just trying to fend each other off one and another at a time while Miller Time's just trying to hang in there. That Oozle boy is trying to stay ahead of Enough Said and Creaky right behind him. Meanwhile, M. Morgan right now is just, I think he's somewhere else. I think he went over to Florida. He was like, I'm on the Florida-Georgia line. I'm going to Florida, guys. Forget this. He is so far ahead right now of the pack that he could probably have a few cocktails and he'd still be fine to drive. Well, contact made there, and then Enough Said gets a nice little lick as they go 3 wide already down out of turn 2. On down out of turn 2, down the back straightaway they go. Contact was made there between the drivers, and it looked like maybe Oozle boy kind of get a lot loose, and unfortunately Enough Said gets a tag and a half there. Whoa, tag there from the 14, right into the 42, Miller time there. The 14 trying to hold it out. Pat Howard has nowhere to go there and nowhere to run when it comes to these things. He's just trying to see if maybe he can get it situated out for a longer run here. Meanwhile, back up front, we've got ourselves a battle for the lead. The 8 of RD now looking to challenge in Morgan. And Morgan was second last time. He's looking to try to get one more spot this time. And they're definitely giving it everything it's worth, trying to stick with it and trying to stay out of trouble. But right now, this is definitely looking more into the favor of In Morgan, to his credit. He continues them on in, getting serious momentum and runs here. As they continue them on down around now, they will continue this one on in. And they are just absolutely tearing it up, trying to build up the momentum. But definitely right now, it is not looking the best, as Wah RD has now finally made a big move there out of turn 3 going into 4. Looks like the run and a half is going to go over to him there. Wah RD will have the race lead now with only a chunk of laps left in this one. As a matter of fact, we're down to 37 laps in stage 2 here. Oh, they work on down around now, down turn 3, going down into turn 4. And you got yourself a battle in the back here. Look at this. Parker's trying to work him in with the 19 of RY85. And that 42 of Miller Time just trying to stay in it as well, trying to get it for all it's worth. But definitely right beside him there as that 14 of Pat Howard tries to figure it out. He's getting some serious momentum runs here. CJ Creaky now, after all the heartache and incidences in stage 1, finally is now back where he thinks he belongs and should be, which is up front with the leaders battling here. On down around that front straightaway they go. No driver giving an inch here. Nobody giving anything to lose. They want a race win here, and they want to keep their position as much as they need it. But I can tell you right now, CJ Creaky, if he doesn't get something figured out now, he's going to be in trouble here as they work him on around. And Morgan now gets a big run there on the bottom line. He's going to get something going here. And he's actually, CJ Creaky is going to back off and go in pit side. And Morgan makes a big jump there on the 8 and makes his move around. I wonder if maybe it was a little too early though for Creaky. Maybe he needed to get those tires in a little sooner, or the gas in a little sooner. I'm not for sure if he actually did go in and pit and get 2 tires or fuel. But it's definitely showing right now, because right now In Morgan and that 8 of Wah RD are giving it everything it's worth here, just trying to stick with position and stick with the time here. On down around out of turn 4 they go here, and it is definitely looking more and more like In Morgan finally has got this figured out. Meanwhile, that Ouzel boy in third had a battle for third of Bruin with the driver in the 19 of RY85 still hunting in it. But he's got to try to find a way to stay ahead of Parkhurst and that 77 machine. Parker's giving it everything he can here, trying to build up a momentum run, trying to build up some timing here. The Toyota versus the Chevrolet. Who's going to outdo the other here? Well, it's a Chevrolet in on the one side and on the other. This is like an uneven fight, in my opinion, for that Toyota, but he's fighting back. RY85 not giving up anything to that Ouzel boy. He'll try to get him on down around out of turn 1 now, bring him on down in turn 2 here. Continuing this one on in, he's giving it everything it's worth with only 32 laps remaining. He gets a move around that Ouzel boy now. That Ouzel will have to be figuring out why he got goozled as he gets him on down now out of turn 3 going into 4, because Matt Parkhurst has just made him a daily double in the reverse kind. He has put the 9 2 spots back now after that position pass. On down around In Morgan right now, you can still see he's dealing with that 8 of Wah RD, but Wah just lost a lot of time and ground there. He's trying to hang with it and trying to get something figured out, because he is now getting pushed further and further back, unfortunately. And it's definitely showing for these drivers. They work them on down around out of turn 4 here. On out on the front straightaway here, Miller Time giving it everything it's worth, trying to stick with these guys and stick in a position. But it's definitely showing that these guys are running out of time and position here, because this is starting to burn up more and more here. Right now, GB Griffin joining us here. Good evening, sir. Good to have you back on in here. Good to have everybody in here as well. Obviously some old drivers and some new ones coming on in here. Some from the iRacing circuit. It's good to hear them from here as they work them on down around down the front straightaway. Here they go. Miller Time still hanging in there with the 19 RY85. Nobody giving an inch here though. And there's serious battles brewing, serious time wasting Nobody is giving an inch to this at all, and you can definitely tell that they're not wanting to quit just yet. Now RY going to try to get back in the hunt here, back down the inside line. He gets with Miller Time. Miller Time defends. Miller Time defends on the inside line, while that Oozle boy, and then number 9 getting a little bit loose there. He gets a little bit into the grass. He got goozled yet again. That Oozle is going to have to figure out how to stop getting goozled. He's going down out of turn 2 here. As they work him on down around to that back straightaway here, RY85 now brings him on to the outside. He's trying to play the switcheroo on the 42 of Miller Time, but Miller Time is playing way too much defensive in my opinion. He's got to start, be careful about those tires. Oh! And that Oozle just took the 42 for a ride and a half. He was trying to go down a pit road, and unfortunately they ended up getting clobbered in the process. Oh man, that was a huge lick and a half, if you want to say that. Not what they wanted there at all, and that Oozle boy will now be a race leader though. He currently has got a sizable distance over from his fellow drivers. But will that Oozle finally be able to get himself a race victory? Well, he's going to have to go inside pit road, so if he was going to think that was going to work all day, I don't think it's going to work anytime soon now. He's back down to pit road here as they work their way on around now for the passing here. A lot of guys have opted down in pit road earlier, and they've opted down in pit side here. Wait a minute. That Oozle boy has stopped on the front stretch. What is going on with him there? Something not going right there at all for him there, and he's stopped right there. I'm not sure what's going on with him exactly. He's back on the track and back figured out. I think he might have lost power there when he was trying to get it into the pit road, and he actually had to stop there for a second. Not sure what the case was, but nonetheless, it's definitely showing right now. On down around down out of turn 1 here. You got a good look at Matt Parkhurst in that 77 machine trying to get up there with CJ Creaky. He is your race leader. Parkhurst is currently a lap down at the moment, and Morgan currently in the second slot right now, just trying to get there with Creaky. And Creaky, if he can just stick in it and stay with us here, he's got himself a pretty good position to battle on here. Oh, and the Wolf, number 11, has just been pitted. They literally called him off. He blew the motor and they threw him off the track. He is gone. He's done. It's over for Wolf, and a tough break for him there. Holy smokes, was not expecting that at all. What on earth just happened? Miller Time now down on the outside, trying to work him on in. Kevin Baker still trying to get something figured out. Continuing on here, they bring him on down around out of turn 4 here, and neither driver is giving an inch here. Neither driver is giving any quit. But they definitely are trying to fight for all it's worth here, trying to get this one figured out. Can Miller Time finally get around Kevin Baker and get himself some time back? We'll see here as they work them on around. Can't say for sure who's going to get what here, but it's definitely been a battle between nutrition and speed. And it looks like Miller Time is going in pit road this time. Whoa! Or not. Went right down on the bottom. He got loose there. And unfortunately, that spun him all around. CJ Creaky now has actually been passed up by Parkhurst. Parkhurst now building up some serious momentum and some flames in that car. Trying to get something figured out for this long run setup here in this area. It definitely will tell the tale here if we can figure out who's going to get what here. As they continue them on in, though, you can definitely see everyone's giving it for what it's worth, trying to build up the momentum and pace yet again. But CJ Creaky now is your race leader, and he is not going to give that position up so much. And then one of the disappointing race moments right now, I got to believe, is that number 20 Toyota Camry of Haybill. I've got to believe he's got to be the most disappointed driver right now, because you know how good he is on this track and how good he is in those turns. He right now is currently at a disadvantage. He's losing the momentum and losing time and ground. And unfortunately, it's not playing too well into his favor here. But that's sorry now, though. We'll see how it all plays out here in the big spots, because I feel as though he's coming back with something here, and it's definitely showing. As Pat Howard in that 14 is now going to do battle here with the 42 of Miller Time. Miller Time was trying to work it in with Kevin Baker in that 87, and now had to go in pit side there, and now they're going to go back and forth with one another here. On down around that back straightaway they go, folks, and no driver is giving an inch here. Nobody is giving any room to lose. They want it all They want to win here, and they want to give it everything they can to try to get themselves into victory lane, but you can definitely tell that there's only so much they can do here as Pat Howard now tries to work that inside line in. Might have something here for Miller. They work him on down around the bottom here, and he makes a big pass there on the inside there, makes it work on in. Can he get it back up ahead of Miller? Try to stay out of the draft, though. He's going to try to block the middle and high side so he can't bring it down low on him. Oh, and Miller right into the wall there. That just lost all his momentum he was building up there with the 14. Hay-Bale now getting some momentum built up and some time built in. There's 19 laps remaining in this one here, folks. And the front runners are right now bringing and hustling. The Research 20 of Hay-Bale and that Toyota Camry machine still getting something figured out here, still getting everything they can done and doing what they will, if you will. But right now, it's definitely a matter of time before one gets over the other here and what gets done ahead of each other, and that's definitely the case here for these drivers. CJ Creaky right now still trying to hold him off, still trying to battle him on in, while Ed Morgan now, he's got some momentum built up here. Watch out, folks. I'm going to show you guys what's making Ed Morgan so fast on this track. Take a look at this. Well, now that CJ Creaky just pitted down, so now Morgan is going to take the race lead away. This is what's making him so fast. You see those corners on the grass, and you see the tight ends there of those turns in the wall. He's angling them in as straight as he can to get a slingshot straight down the bottom. Apexes it right off the middle, brings it back up to the top. No matter what track, what platform you're on for the track, this track is very similar on how you're supposed to run and how it is on feeling the bumps. It's all about timing, mentality, and maintaining speed and skill, as Ed Morgan now has to go on pit side as well here. ROI 85 and the 8 will as well go in there. Pat Howard as it is too. Hay-Bale will stay on out there and maybe try to figure something out to stay ahead of Miller time here. And we continue him on in here. Miller time, and that's 42 machine trying to battle it on in here with Hay-Bale still in the hunt, still in the chance, running for himself a victory here. But neither of these drivers have given up just yet. Neither one has given any room for mistakes or errors here, and neither one wants to quit. That's what it's all about here in the Heat 5 stuff, is you want to see that. You want to see that determination, that drive. But actually, no matter where you're at, you should always want to see it on the track. On down, around, down, out, turn one, back down, turn two here. Hay-Bale's got company. Miller time now trying to make some serious headway there, trying to get some possession pilled up here. Continue them on around, and we'll work them on in. The Reesers of 20 of Hay-Bale right now has got company still. Miller time now losing momentum on that lane there. Looks like it wasn't quite able to stick it in there and keep it going. And that's going to open up the door even further to try to get something for Hay-Bale to get past him. But right now, as they work them on in, it appears as though that we have a new race leader. Enough said. In that number 1 machine, the Big Bad Chevrolet is currently our race leader right now with only 14 laps remaining in this one here. And now I can tell you, everyone that's been in pit side will have enough fuel to get this one finished out. But will they have enough tires, though? That's the biggest thing. And then going into that next stage, they're going to almost have to put in 3 times. They're going to have to be very careful about how they run that next stage, because this is definitely going to show who played their hand right and who played it wrong. As CJ Creaky right now is currently in the hunt and in the driver's seat to get himself up into this one here and maybe have himself a race victory if he can get it all situated out just right. 13 laps into this one here as they work them on down the back straightaway they go. Nobody giving an inch and nobody giving any room for mistake here or error. And it's definitely showing CJ Creaky working him on down that front straightaway of the tri-oval. And he is right now, we'll give you an idea of who's in where right now in a minute for the lead. 12 laps into this one here. I believe right now your race leader is actually going to be, I believe that is Miller Time at the moment. Actually, he's got, so it looks like he does have the race lead with CJ Creaky right behind him. And then Morgan in the hunt, but now Miller has to go in pit side here. That's going to open up the door to Creaky. Creaky will get yet again another shot at taking this race victory away. I think he has enough tires in there too. Will he have enough tire, and will he have enough fuel run in there? We're only 11 laps left in stage 2. This is definitely going to show who's going to be the smarter one of the two. On down around that back straightaway here. Pat Howard is giving it everything that he could from the earlier carnage and wrecks, unfortunately. Enough said with still all that damage on that front end. And Miller Time bringing it on out as well. Wolf unfortunately had to be put down at pit side there after a blown motor. And definitely it's showing right now to how hard he wanted to win. He was giving it everything he can, but that motor, when it goes, it goes. And there's nothing you can do about that. Work them on down out of turn 4 they go here. And while RD has got serious company coming on down with that 21 there. Doc Holliday, Doc trying to get something figured out. That Valvoline 21 just works them on in down out of turn 1 and 2. Still in the hunt here, folks. Still kicking, still fighting. Not done yet. You still got a chance here. It works him on the inside line now. And he tries to make the pass, but can't quite get it. While RD is smarter than that, he says, let's tame this beast. I'm going to make sure you stay behind me this whole race. On down that front straightaway here, on down. They will battle him through and through, giving it everything they can. But Doc Holliday right now just can't quite get the run he wants. And while RD knows that, on down around the back straightaway now, back down turn 3, going down into turn 4 here. And Wardy now has some serious head momentum. He's getting further and further into this one here, staying ahead of the curve and getting with it. But he can't quite hold him off further enough because Doc Holliday just continues to push it forward. Meanwhile, that Oozle Boy and that 9 Machine, despite the front end damage on that beast, he's currently getting the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet up closer and closer here. Now works him on into the inside here, works him on around. Tries to make that pass around RY. You can see the momentum building up in his corner here. Starting to get some serious time and aggression going here. He's got that final run there going down. And he will make that pass around there. As they continue him on in here, CJ Creaky staying further and further ahead of N. Morgan with only 6 laps remaining in this one. On down, backstretch, turn 3, going down turn 4. CJ Creaky is giving it everything he can, just trying to stick ahead of the curve and stay ahead of N. Morgan. But you can definitely tell those tires are burning up and those tires are jolting further and further away from one another. He's starting to lose time and ground with them. They've got to be burning it quicker. And N. Morgan, maybe not so much the same, but he's definitely falling behind on the momentum key, that's for sure, with only 5 laps now left in this one. Nobody giving an inch and nobody giving any quit. They all want the same thing, and that's to become a champion here tonight and get a race winning. As we bring them on down that front straightaway here, nobody giving an inch and nobody stopping now. We'll see how this one all plays out here as they work them on in here for these last couple laps. As they work them on down around, we've only got ourselves a few laps left in this one here. As they continue it in, it looks like CJ Creaky is going to get himself another stage victory here. As he works them on down out of turn 4 here, I believe this will be his final lap he's got to complete here. Or no, excuse me, 2 laps left to complete. He's got just a few more in this one. On down around out of turn 2 they go here, and CJ Creaky giving it for what it's worth, trying to stay ahead of the curve, and then Morgan, you can't disrespect the build up and momentum he had there in this first half. He gave it everything he had to just try to work this one on in, but this is not going to be his stage this time around. They bring him on in one more time here. On down around down out of turn 2 here. One more time around down the back straightaway here. That driver right there is going to put the 51 Hot Rod Rowdy machine into stage 2 winner's circle. But he's got a whole nother stage where the actual points matter. All those points that you got here in the stage 2 are good for his run in the playoffs. But he really needs a race win here. So here we go, folks. DJ Creaky in the stage point there, stage win, and Morgan second place. Third going to WARD, RY85 getting a 4th position, and Pat Howard getting the 5th position. And that will settle in our score here for the top 5. We will see how this one plays out, our top 10 in this case. So right now, it looks like also Matt Parkhurst and Doc Holliday and Miller Time and everyone behind them actually are a lap down at this point. So that's going to definitely be a bit of a telling of the tale for this one here. We'll see how that all plays out for them here as they work them on down now. Looks like the lucky dog going around there for Parkhurst as they bring him on in here. We've got the green flag ready for this final stage here. We're going a full 5 laps this time, not 59 in this case. So the race officials got their laps in, getting their times in. This is going to be a big one to the end as they work them on down that back straightaway here. They're already jockeying for position, trying to move their way on in. RY85 hanging in with these guys and trying to hang into position, trying to get it for what it's worth here. Well, the number 1 Enough Said still hangs in there a little bit. Now contact made there from Pat Howard. Whoa, Pat Howard getting a little bit aggressive here. The aggressor in the early going here, trying to work him on around with a 3-wide salute. They bring him on in, and Morgan now gets some momentum built up. It looks like Pat Howard had enough of being in the back. Now he's saying flat out, dude, I want to get up front. Forget this. He works him on down around, down turn 3, going down turn 4 here. Gets some momentum in there and trying to work him in. See if maybe he can get it going here. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack here, RY85. Serious competition between him and the 42 and the 77. Miller Time and Parkhurst right now just trying to stay in it. Parkhurst right now is not a lap down anymore. He got the lucky dog. So we'll see if that helps him out here for this one as then Morgan tries to work him on down around turn 3 going into 4. He's caught up with the race leaders yet again. And Morgan is giving it all he can while Pat Howard in that 14 trying to hold it off. Can the Mobil 1 14 Ford Mustang hold off that Roush 17 Ford Mustang? 2 Ford manufacturers going out of here to try to get up to that Toyota Camry of Creaky. Creaky's the only guy right now that's had any success in that Toyota Camry other than Haybill this season. And he's definitely been showing it why that is. Those two definitely good drivers in their own right. But right now, they're going to have to hold off the other hard, tough competition that is these drivers right behind them. And that being Enough Said and WARD in the 8 machine. On down around down turn 1 and turn 2. Let's start it up. It's not the Talladega train, but it's the Atlanta train. They bring them on down around out of the back straightaway they go, and they're hanging in for all they got here. You can see how much Enough Said's trying to defend off that 8 there, while also still trying to maintain the grip of the draft. from the 17 of Ed Morgan, and you can see Creaky is just getting further and further ahead. And that 14 there is just trying to hang with him and trying to hang this position out, but it's definitely showing between these drivers who is able to outdo and outclass the other here as they come on down the back straightaway here. Enough said, now getting a little bit loose and a little wobbly there, trying to battle it out there with Ed Morgan. That's going to put him further back, and Morgan that is, as they work them on around. Your top 5 is definitely maintaining pace and maintaining rhythm here on down that front straightaway here, and it looks like now the run is going to go to the 8 machine. And Hay Bale, it looks like he might be down at pit road already. I'm not seeing any movement out of the car. Oh, there is movement, so he is still good. He's getting back out on the track. I thought he might have blown the motor there. On down around out of turn 3, back down turn 4 they go, and then Morgan is trying to stick with it, but Raw RD and the 8 machine having some good go around to get up to Pat Howard. Pat Howard right now has got that Raw RD 8 machine right behind him, just trying to stick with him and get him here. But they are not giving an inch and not giving any chances on this one. They are doing for what they're worth and what they're supposed to be, and there is no going back when you run this here. As that 8 machine now brings it right into the inside there of the 14. Pat Howard still defends off though. Great blocking and great method of strategy there as they work them on down around there, or work them on in to the inside. There goes the 8. Pat Howard now in trouble. The 8's got some run here, and Morgan's giving a little push to help him out here. They're starting to build up momentum and rhythm here with only 47 laps remaining in this one. Now Pat Howard up to the wall. Howard up in the wall, and Morgan makes that pass around. He's going to get something going here off that. He's going to try and steal this one away. Well, enough said now. Brings it straight down to the bottom here. Oh, contact made there between him and Pat Howard. These two not giving an inch here, not giving for any room or any mistakes, and they're definitely showing this one here up. These guys not giving any chances or any issues here, and boy, this is definitely getting it harder and harder. Coming on down, around down the front straightaway, here they go. Pat Howard still in the hunt here, still trying to get around Enough Said, but Enough Said just keeps defending. He did the same thing to Ed Morgan in stage 1, now he's doing it here. As they work them on down around that back straightaway here, you can see that Pat Howard is just not giving any chances up and any mistakes up, as now we work them on down the back here with RY85 having to do battle with Kevin Baker. Kevin Baker trying to get something figured out here, trying to get around here as the top 10 does battle here, just working them on in. As they continue them on around down out of turn 1, down turn 2. As they continue this one on in, now down side by side, Kevin Baker now has to do battle with RY, and they get right into contact territory there on turn 4. But the rubbing his racing mentality sticks with them. They're okay there. But now look at this up front here. You got that 8 machine trying to do battle here with CJ Creaky. Creaky had a serious run and a half there, and Ed Morgan was giving it all his worth. But these guys absolutely taking it to their time here and trying to figure it out. They work them on down that back straightaway here, and they're definitely fighting for what it's worth here down out of turn 3, going down in turn 4 here, and Morgan doing everything he can to stick with it, and CJ Creaky is giving it quite the run and a half there as the 8 now works them on in. And these guys are definitely putting it to their boots. They're putting the pedal to the metal, if you will, and they work them on down around. That 8 machine is still not out of the hunt yet. Neither is Enough Said as he makes contact there with the number 1 machine. CJ Creaky has slowed up on the pace. I think he's going to go down pit road there, or maybe a tire might be going down on that one. It's hard to tell. We'll see if we can get a look at it here. Yep, he's heading down pit side there. That's why he was slowing down. So is the 8 and the 1. And then Morgan's going to stay on out. He's going to try to get it all figured out here and done right. He's got 40 laps left in this one here. And I got to believe he's less than 5 or 6 laps on fuel. If he's staying out that late, but I don't know. This might be a bad strategy on his end, as it's a little bit of a pile up there. On down the pit road section, as the 1 gets a little tag in there from the 14. And they'll bring him on around, see who can get out of here first. Looks like it's going to be Kevin Baker yet again. He seems like he's always out of there first. He seems to get it all figured out quickly. CJ Creaky now getting it on out as well. He's back on the pace, but Enough Said has made his pass around him already. On down, around, down out of turn 2 they go here, and these guys are not giving an inch between one another. They're trying to get some momentum built up. Creaky will try to get that line back that he was running earlier and try to get the momentum in there. We're down about 38 laps this next time by, and this will definitely be a telling of the tale to see who can get what here, as Ed Morgan is now exited out of pit road here as well. RY85 now trying to get it back out. I thought Haybale may be trying to play a different strategy here right now, but it's not quite seeming to work as well as he'd like it to. As they work them on down around, Enough Said has made his pass around now for that race lead, and Ed Morgan is right behind him here. Ed Morgan is getting pushed further and further back. Enough Said, he won stage 1. Can he win the race here? Because he definitely could go for a tailing of, he can go for one here, that's for sure. Work them on down around, down out of turn 1, down turn 2 they go. And Enough Said will definitely have a good sizable distance and lead here. And now, right behind him though, CJ Creaky going to give a little bit of a headache to 17, because he's going to try and make his pass around him. But they don't realize is the more they keep battling each other, the more they just got to rely on that pit stop strategy later on. If I had to say anything, I think Ed Morgan's got them both beat on that one. He seems like he's the more aggressor when it comes to pit road strategy, because he's got a fresher set of tires on there, and if you will, about a lap of tires is a big difference when you're working on hot land of all things, because that track will burn up your tires quick, get you running hard later. So you got to be very careful about that, and it's definitely showing between these drivers. On back down around, down at turn 1, going into turn 2, down the exit of turn 2 to the backstretch. CJ Creaky is giving it everything he can here, just trying to stick with him and stick with this race. But it's still, right now, all on Morgan to just keep ahead of the curve and stay ahead of one another. He's not giving any chances up, and Enough Said knows it. But Creaky also knows that he's got to stick with that draft and start building up some momentum if he wants to make a huge pass around. This isn't like what Talladega or Daytona is, where you can get a run and then jump off ahead. You got to figure out a way to get ahead of one another. And now Morgan, oh! And Morgan, Enough Said getting into it there. That rear side panel got into the front right panel there of Morgan, and Morgan definitely had company there in trouble, but now he's getting a little bit of help here from Creaky. Creaky pushing him further and further ahead. Enough Said just trying to get back into this. And Enough Said just puts a footful to the left side there. He just turned it straight in to defend off CJ Creaky. Smart strategy on his end, but definitely hard racing with 34 laps left in this one here, folks. Could be anybody's race, to say the least. These guys are just tearing it up out there, just trying to figure out how they want to play this one. On back down around out of turn 4 they go here, and Creaky is definitely still on the hunt, but this is definitely not going to be the same for Enough Said, because Enough Said right now is doing everything he can to get this one all situated out and figured out here. On down around out of turn 3, going back down into turn 4 here. They swing him on in here now. Back down. Oh, bottom goes the number 1, Enough Said. He tries to get a move off on Ed Morgan. Ed Morgan now trying to defend off, but Enough Said's got help from CJ. And what a move there by Morgan. He just slinged it straight down to the top and back down to the bottom and just kept enough set out of the hunt. Great driving from Morgan. Right behind all of them here, Wah RD right now. In a bit of a battle here with the 19 there. On down around, they'll keep it going here. Neither driver giving an inch here as Wah RD is trying to hang with it and try to get ahead there of RY85. Looks like maybe some front end damage on that 8 machine up. Maybe not actually. So as they continue them on in, no one giving an inch here between these drivers. No one giving any chances to get a pass made. And the tires, I gotta believe, are burning in more and more here now as the inside line of YRD was looking like he maybe had a chance there to get past, but he just can't quite get the momentum run. Or can he now? He works them on in, gets that finally to apex down off the bottom the way he wants to as they continue him on in with only 30 laps remaining. Strong battle in between one another, strong racing and further into this. Creaky originally in stage 2 was the dominator while Ed Morgan was trying to catch up. Now it's the complete opposite. The roles are reversed. Your top 3 that have either been in first or second on the stages are your race 3 podium finishers right now. And CJ Creaky's giving it everything he can to stick with this one and stick into the hunt. But the number 1 of enough said, it's not done yet. He's still trying here. He's still trying to get something figured out, but it's just not enough in my opinion. The way he's going right now, he's got to figure out that pit strategy and how he wants to play it out, because I feel like that's where he's going to really get them here. On back down that front straightaway here, down turn 1. Slides him on in down turn 2 here, and CJ Creaky still giving it a heck of a run in the battle here as they continue them on in out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway we go. And now enough said, right back into the wall there. Gets a little bit of a tag there, a little run and a rub. Unfortunately not quite getting what he wanted there. And that definitely is not going to help him any time on his cause for getting up to the lead here. Meanwhile, one of the most winning drivers on the track is Haybell in that 20 machine. You wouldn't have thought of it right now because of how hard he's having to battle the other drivers here in the back of the pack, but that's definitely one of those most consistencies that he's had. He says he told me earlier today that, yeah, I like running this track, but definitely I'm going to be a bit of a challenge here with these guys because there's some depth, some hard-hitting racers here. And right now it's definitely showing. As you can see, these guys all at it back and forth. There's battles everywhere and each way to Sunday. And it's on a Monday of all things. But right now, RY85 is still trying to stick with us here, and they're trying to get him into territory of the 8 of YRD. Whoa! RY85 get right down, turn 4, get right back into the hunt there. Oh, contact made there on RY, and YRD now really losing momentum. That is some huge hits and some huge spots there, some haymakers thrown at one another. And we've got word right now, we've got a new race leader. CJ Creaky has made his pass around. They have Ed Morgan at 17 because Ed Morgan has gone pit side. This is unique strategy in my opinion. Is this strategy going to play into his effect though? I don't know if that will play that well. I don't know if what CJ Creaky's going to do, but he's definitely building up momentum to get a strong run off this exit here. I can hear him start maybe D shifting down. Down shifting. There it is. Yep, he's going down pit side here. He knows what he's got to do to get ahead of the curve here. Meanwhile, Haybell in that 20 just trying to hang with these guys and try to get himself a somewhat a decent finish here. The 14 of Pat Howard is absolutely rocking and stocking in that here. Getting some serious momentum built up and some serious time and ground here. He has a chance up to get into position here for possibly a top 5 finish, but he's got to get something figured out here because he's not in that contention zone just yet. CJ Creaky is down at pit side now, and so is the other drivers. And Ed Morgan right now is looking to possibly get himself into the hunt here, and RY85 now is your race leader. Not a lot of laps left here, and there's still, I think if I'm looking at this right, they will still have to go in and pit one more time at least. So this is going to play into the strategy of who drives it better. Well, back there. Whoa! 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 Ed Morgan get right into the RY85 there, and Ed Morgan now. I'm not sure what happened between those drivers there, but Ed Morgan got right into RY, and RY had nowhere to get out of there, nowhere to get off that. I think that might have been on RY actually getting into him there. Hard to tell, but that opened the door for CJ Creaky. Enough said now because of that big run. Yet again, these three are going to go back and forth out of here. And the 14 now is going to be our race leader, Pat Howard, that is. But right now he's in pit side as well. We'll see if that comes back into play here. We'll see if they work them on down around. We are going to have ourselves some more position changes here in just a sec. And it looks as though CJ Creaky has taken the lead yet again. But enough said in second and Ed Morgan in third. These guys are going to give it quite the run and a hustle here for this one. Neither driver giving any chances, neither driver giving any room for mistakes here. You could definitely see that. Enough said, now works him on down that front straightaway, down turn one, back down to turn two we go. And enough said is just trying to get himself his very first race victory here tonight. He's been hunting for it. He's been trying to get it. I can tell you right now, he's got a good draft going for him. On back down around now, down the front straightaway they go, and enough said, still in the hunt, still trying to get with it here. And that 17 machine of Ed Morgan is still not out of it yet. 20 laps remain in this one here. And this is definitely looking more and more like a huge hunt to the end for these guys. Nobody is just giving anything up. This is incredible here. Looks like the battles are far in between right now. Well, I take that back. You still got Ed Morgan, enough said, going at it. But other than that, that's really the only battle that's going on right now. These guys are just continuing to do everything they can to get around one another and try to get something figured out. But it's definitely showing who is the one that's outclassing the other here. Well, I take that back now. Doc Holliday going to give a little bit of a run here at Matt Parkhurst. Parkhurst opened the door up, and Holliday about got him there. But if Holliday can get something figured out there on that outside or the inside line, I think he can get it going here. He's just got to get a draft help. Getting a little bit of a hand there from the fellow drivers. We got 18 laps remaining in this one now. Time is of the essence to get up to CJ Creaky, and now Morgan back to the inside there, works him on down out of turn three. Enough said, opens the door up, and Morgan clipses him in and gets it around. We're running low on time here and running low on laps, and these guys are not quitting just yet. Some serious battling in between these drivers right now. Works them on down around out at turn two they go here, and Ed Morgan is doing all it's worth and all he can to get ahead of that one machine. Enough said though is not out yet, is not done. He wants to try to steal this one from him and try to steal it off of it. Well, I'm bound back around now, down back out turn one, back inside we go, down to turn two we go. And enough said is just trying to build up momentum and trying to get something for Ed Morgan. Now maybe he might have something here. He works on the outside line, but that's not really going to help him much on this track. You've seen most of these guys get that bottom line. That's where you want to run it at. You can run the high side, but it's extremely difficult to master up there. And there is a reason why right now as they work them on down around. Downtown to the front stretch, back over to turn one we go. And these guys are still in the hunt, still on pace to maintain this one. Not a lot of breathing room left there for that 17 of Ed Morgan. But you can see is that number one, enough said, still tries to hang on. These guys are just absolutely clawing and scratching for this one here as Ed Morgan gets right back into the one. Back down low, and Ed Morgan will go pit side, but enough said's going to beat him there. CJ Creaky stays out, and I guarantee he's going in pit side this next time by if I had to guess. The reason why I say that is because the other two guys pitted right behind him, and he knows that if they get some momentum build up on a lap or two, that will give them a chance to get ahead of him, so he needs to get in quick and soundly in order to get out of there quicker and get something going, and that's what I'm talking about right now. There he goes in pit side. Here's Haybale. We get a look at him. Still just trying to figure out his line. Still trying. Hopefully at this point just to survive, I think. Actually, I think he's a lap down at the point. While that 8 machine of Wah RD is still in it. Enough said. We'll work him on down. He'll get out of there first before in Morgan here. As they wait to get it back up, looks like Enough Said's gonna bring it on down that back straightaway here before he gets up there. There he goes. Gets it on up, and now he's got Doc Holliday riding the hunt here for him, looking for him here as Matt Parkhurst has now overtaken for the lead. He is now your race leader at the moment till he goes in pit road there. I can't think it would be any time soon though, because I feel like he's got some momentum still on those tires and some fuel in there. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens here with him and see if it comes in back to haunt him. As our lap counter now shows, only 13 laps remain in this one. Whoa, that was the boy getting a little bit woozy there with that 51 of CJ Creaky. Creaky able to hold his own, stay out of trouble, but definitely shows right there between those guys how much they want to win this. And Parkhurst is finally gone down in pit side here. We'll tell you who's now going to be the race leader after that. In just a second, we're currently getting times figured out and clops figured out. Race officials are trying to give me word, and I don't know if RY85 has blown the motor on there. It looks like he might have, unfortunately. So another driver losing his position here tonight. A tough break there for him. Hard to think, but he was racing so hard and well. He gave it everything he had, and he just unfortunately got put into a bad line and a bad position here, and that definitely hurt his chances to stay in this one. The 14 of Pat Howard, I should say, is now going to be our race leader, but he's now having to go inside pit road as well, and these guys got a full tank of gas and a full tank of tires. I gotta believe Pat Howard's just trying to get a thing of tires, maybe in a little bit of fuel, to try to outlast one and try and save themselves up here, but I don't know how much longer they have left in there. We'll see how that all plays out as they work them on down around now. Our new race leader is going to be the 51 of CJ Creaky. Creaky, yet again, has taken a good size lead and a good chunk of it away from everybody. He's got a pretty good distance on this one here. As now here comes in Morgan now making a big pass around the inside there, trying to hustle his way ahead. Parkhurst is just trying to stay out of trouble and stay out of the way here. You can see how hard he is charging. He's got himself a Chelsea Charger going there. He's got a full throttle assault for everybody up front of him. And Upset is slowing slower and slower, more and more here. And then Morgan sees that opportunity. So is Parkhurst. Now Parkhurst going to bring it right to the inside there. Side by side they go. Parkhurst trying to do a little bit of battling here with that Morgan, and Morgan can't have that though if he wants to win this one. And Upset, oh, contact made there between Upset and that 42. The 42 there, Miller Town getting right in there with one another, and unfortunately takes a nice little lick and a half there. And that definitely showed there. That was a sizable lick and a right there for those drivers. But as they continue them on in, they're giving it all they can. They're just trying to win. But at the same time, the more they keep battling like that, the more they're just letting CJ get ahead of them. Miller has finally gone down pit road here. He's opted in to go there. As they continue him on around, Parker still in the hunt, still trying to get ahead there. Enough said, just trying to hold him off there and trying to hold something in this one. 7 laps remain. 7 laps to go. And oh boy, has it been something for these guys tonight. They've been giving it a full throttle assault and attack on this track, but the tires just can't take all that abuse and damage that long. It's impossible. And right now, as you see, Enough Said getting hunted down here by that number 17 of N. Morgan. N. Morgan is not out of the hunt yet. Pat Howard now is going to get passed up by CJ Creaky. And now Creaky is just starting to go further and further ahead to possibly just winning it all here and taking this one away from everybody out here. It's hard to think, but right now Creaky is the man, is the guy that all of them are chasing after here. This is some great stuff and some good racing here between these drivers. as they work them on down around down the turn 1, turn 2 here. Pat Howard still trying to hang in there with CJ Creaky, but Creaky just getting a little hot rod rowdy in that 51 machine. With only 5 laps remaining in this one here, there's not time left. They've got to figure this out now. Can Ed Morgan get one more full throttle assault in there? One more little chance to try to get ahead of enough set, or is there not enough in there to do it? I personally don't feel as though there's enough time to do it. As they bring him on down around now, enough said is just trying to get around the Miller Time 2042 machine. And Miller just trying to back off, get off the draft there, enough said, but also trying to get the draft of Parkhurst. And these guys are absolutely killing themselves just trying to stay on the line and stay on their position. But the reason why I say that is because they're burning those tires up and getting that car ever so looser to hold on to. And that definitely is going to hurt them for the long run here. On down around now, we're running low on laps here. We're running out of time here. It looks like we have 2 laps remaining this time by. As soon as Creaky gets around here, he's going to see that green flag flying around, which means he'll switch out for the white flag this next time by here. What a run and a half it has been for these drivers, and CJ Creaky has had a tremendous season. He's looking to cap it off with a win, but in order to do so, he's got to figure out how to stay ahead of the curve and how to stay ahead of trouble. They're on down the back straightaway we go here. Well, we've got ourselves a full throttle assault for CJ Creaky in this last bit. One more time around. He's just got to complete one last lap here, and this is it. On down around now, they continue this one on in here, and it's looking more and more like it's going to be all CJ Creaky as they come down out of turn 4. One last time by. Your race winner tonight will be CJ Creaky in the Hot Rod Rowdy 51 machine. Well, deserving of a win, and Morgan will get a 3rd place finish. Well, enough said gets the 2nd place finish. The best he has finished all season long, and what a way to do it. Man, what a race these guys had. What a battle as they come across the stripes. Kevin Baker getting 4th. Pat Howard will go 5th. Actually, that's where they all go a lap down, actually. 6th to Matt Parkhurst. 7th to Abel. Wilder D getting 8th. 9th goes to Miller Time. And then Doc Holliday rounding out your top 10 tonight, folks. That was quite the run, quite the battle going for these drivers here. And nobody gave an inch and nobody wanted to quit. But tonight, it is done and over with. CJ Creaky once again puts the 51 into victory lane, and he will get himself another chance at getting one step closer to a season championship with only a few races left. Alright, folks, and that is going to wrap it up here tonight. So once again to everybody at home, thank you all so much for tuning on in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoyed everything that goes on down here at PTM Racing TV. Tomorrow night, we're going into the Dirt Stock Series for a POV shot on my end, so you'll see that live here on Facebook, and then we'll post the race up for Thursday night here on YouTube. So we will not be doing anything with YouTube for a while, but thankfully we have a little special something coming from you on the iRacing circuit for Thursday nights. So be sure to tune that on in and catch that later on. And everybody at home that tunes on in each and every week, we appreciate you guys coming on out. We'll see you next time here on PTM Racing TV. Thanks again to Rev Limit Racing for having us. And, well, that's really about all I can say, guys. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and be safe, take care, God bless, and good night, everybody.